Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Global Reality. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. This is the Friday, April 27th, 2018 edition of the broadcast. I thank you very much for being with me again for another edition of the show. Got some various things to talk about with you here today, although a lot of them tend to be similar things we've talked about in the not-so-recent past. As I've talked about many times, stuff that it's wild. The stuff that I was talking about, a lot of you have been listening to me for a long time, or you've heard the older shows, but there's stuff I was talking about 7 or 8 years ago that was, stuff that was coming, and a lot of the work that I've done and research I've done into transhumanism and all the shows and different things I've done on that. And, now it's like this stuff's in the news every day, the various different stories on it and whatnot. And, it's not the far off distant thing it was anymore. It's, this stuff is very much here, going to be here and have a very significant effect on every person in the world's lives, and not just on everybody's lives, but it's going to change the whole landscape of everything. So, there's more stories on that. Just a lot of various different weird stuff here to talk about. Lots of weird stuff. The levels of disinformation and propaganda that exist out there now that have been ramped up over the past few years, it's really unprecedented. In a world where that was already a problem. You understand what I mean? Even that was already a big thing. It's ramped up even more over the past several years. I can tell you this because, as I've talked about many times, for, well over 15 years, a regular part of my day is always, news hounding and going out and looking out, just scouring everything for news stories. So I can tell you just the shift I've seen happen in now going on this is my 11th year in broadcasting. So just the stuff I've seen shift and change, and the agendas change, and they seemingly come out of nowhere. They seem to appear like they're just natural, organic things, but they, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, they are not. All these agendas that just pop up overnight, and then everybody latches onto them, and everybody just sort of naturally takes on these agendas and has instant opinions on them. But no one ever questions why those things were not there one day and they're the next. And anything like that, especially anything that you see becomes regular news items and regular talking points and everything on, everything from talk shows to news outlets and everything else, radio shows, then that's a part of an existing operation. And anything or any decisions that you make, any beliefs you have in the context of that agenda, you should really take to heart before making any, set in stone belief systems or, life actions or anything else. Because it's been going on for a long time, but the levels to which, the attack on individuality is happening now, the desire to turn everyone into, everybody have the same opinion, everybody have, this sort of sexless race, nobody's male or female anymore. It's, all one gender, genderless race, where everybody likes the same stuff and has the same opinions. This is what they're trying to do. This is the pre-game show, ladies and gentlemen, for what I've discussed for many years is coming in with transhumanism, AI, robotics, all the rest of this stuff. This is the precursor to that. So anyway, yeah, we got a lot of different news stories and whatnot to get into with you here on the show. So thanks again for being here. I want to tell you about a couple of special deals I got going on right now, since we have now been putting only the full shows up in the members archives. I got a special deal going on. It's going on now until Sunday night at midnight. If you sign up to the members archives and you get a 1-year membership, which is $80, if you get it by some people get it by the month. You can get it by the $10 a month, and you can just pay $10 a month. It comes out of your account. Once, like, let's say you get it today, the 27th. If you got a $10 membership, it would come out of your $10 would come out of your account every month on the 27th for your membership until you cancel it. If you buy the 1 year, or you buy a plan, something where you're buying 3 months or 6 months or a year or a lifetime, whatever, it's not a subscription. It doesn't recharge you again or anything. You just pay it once, and then when it's due, you have to pay. When it's expired, you have to pay it again. So anyway, if you get it by $10 a month, do the math, you're paying out $120 a year for your membership. Whereas if you get the year membership, straight up, it's $80. So the deal we've got going on until Sunday night at midnight is, if you purchase a 1-year membership for $80, you're going to get automatically bumped up to a 2-year subscription for the same amount. Now, those of you who already have memberships or something like that, I haven't left you out either. Don't worry. So if you let's say you bought a 3-month membership not too long ago, or you bought a 6-month, or bought a year a while back, but you got some time left on it, all you have to do is, if you go and purchase a new membership, it'll automatically add that to your existing one. So I can add that in too. So if you already have a membership, let's say you have a 3-month membership, or you have a 6-month membership, or you have your 1 year, but you want to get in on this deal, because this is a one-time only deal that we're running here. I'm doing this so we can give, some people who haven't got memberships yet an opportunity to get one and not have to worry about it for 2 years. And also give people the opportunity who already do have theirs to extend theirs for another 2 years for only $80. So it's a great deal. And if you haven't got your membership yet, this is the time to do it. You'll get locked in there for 2 years. So your membership will be good until 2020 for only $80. If you want to subscribe, the way you do that, you can go to my website, theglobalreality.com. There's a subscribe button on the top right-hand corner of the page. You hit that, it'll take you to the Podbean page where you can purchase your membership there. There also will be links in the comments and in the info section of this video on YouTube. So be sure to check there. And I always put links to where you subscribe and where you can contribute to our monthly operating costs, budget fundraiser, and links to the download shop as well, where you can also buy the individual daily shows, the full individual daily shows, for $3 a piece in the download shop, along with my documentary films and my audiobooks. You definitely want, if you haven't gotten a copy of the Spellcasters Volume 1, Volume 1.5, very essential if you haven't seen 1.5. Maybe you've gotten one, but you haven't got 1.5. It's essential viewing, because there's questions that got kind of left hanging out that I didn't know, because I didn't know the answers to them at the time. In Volume 1, stuff that I found the answers for after Volume 1 came out. So there's some very key info in Spellcasters 1.5. It's not just some cutting room floor craptastic thing that I put out as an afterthought of stuff that didn't get put in Volume 1. It's legitimately its own individual film, and I've been surprised by we just haven't sold as many copies of that as we have of Volume 1, and it's really essential. So, and also the Covert War Against Rock audiobook is very essential, because there's some stuff in there that ties in in a very important way with the Spellcasters Volume 2. So now, as I stated, this is our fundraising time. We've got until Tuesday to reach 100% of our operating cost goal. I didn't leave out our contributors also. So we've also got deals going on for that as well, with the if you want to contribute to our operating costs, if you can contribute, so we can keep this thing going. Well, the other big thing is we don't have any leeway this month. We barely slid by the last couple of months. We had like a day or two leeway. We have to have our full goal by Tuesday, no later than like 4 p.m. Central Standard Time or something. So just keep that in mind and go ahead and start getting your contributions in now, so we don't get down to the scary level and freak out level like we always do. I don't want to do that again this month, because again, this is just the most important time for me right now, as I'm zeroing in on a real target end goal for the Spellcasters Volume 2. And I at this point, with all the stuff I've gone through with my health and all the stuff I've endured through the making of this film, I honestly can't endure the amount of stress, being under the amount of stress I'll be under, if we're at the last minute and we don't have enough to cover our operating costs. And I'm worried about, going under and losing our studio and not being able to get the film out and all those things collapsing all at once. So just please help us reach our goal so we can not have to have the stress of that. So if you contribute $100 or more to the operating cost budget by Tuesday, if you already have an existing membership and you contribute $100, you will get your membership extended at whatever its current rate is by 2 years. So if you already have a membership and you're somebody that contributes, we have some regular contributors every month, but we need more of those. That's really the thing we need is just consistent people who can contribute every month. That's the main thing. So if you contribute $100 or more to this month's fundraiser, you will get 2 years extended to your archive membership. If you contribute $200 or more, you will get 4 years added to your archive membership. And if you contribute $300 or more, you'll get automatically upgraded to the lifetime membership, which we sell for $500. So contributors this month, $100 get you 2 years extended on your existing archive membership. Now, if you don't already have an archive membership, but you buy one like a 3-month or something, and then turn around right after that and want to contribute $100 to get extended or whatever amount, you can do that. That is allowed. Just want to throw that out there and put that out there in case you want to do both, and let you know if that is an acceptable option. So just to be clear, yet again, if you purchase a membership, a 1-year membership between now and Sunday night at midnight, you will get 1 year for 2 years. And you can also get that extended here pre-existing. If you contribute $100 to the operating cost fundraiser, you will get 2 years on your pre-existing membership extended. $200, you'll get 4 years on your extended membership. When $300 or more contribution will get you the lifetime bump up to your pre-existing membership. And yes, if you don't have one and you want to get in on the contribution deal, you can buy one, then make a contribution, and you'll get the extension. So there you go. That's all the information, and thank you all again for supporting our work. And we just need more people coming on and more people getting memberships and more people being regular contributors. And just strap in is all I can say. I tell myself that every day, but I'm telling you that too. Just strap in, because when the film comes out, you ever seen that? You ever seen Pulp Fiction? You ever seen where he's like, what's his name? Bela Lugosi, the gay vampire, Travolta, where he's in there with fucking Eric Stoltz. I'll take the Pepsi challenge with that Amsterdam shit any old day of the fucking week. And then they're fucking talking about the heroin and shit. And he's telling him, and this one's the fucking madman. And he's telling him how much the price is, like more than the other shit or whatever. He's like, but when you shoot it, you will know where that extra money went to. Yeah, that's kind of the same equivalent of this movie. When you see it, you will know where all that extra effort went to. You're going to understand all the shit that you've been listening to me endure and barely making it here every month. It's all going to fucking come full circle for you when you see this movie. That's all I can say. You will definitely understand not just the info, but you'll go, oh, shit, okay. Now I get this. Okay, so let's get into some news here. Robots will outnumber humans by 2048. Leading futurologist, is that a job title description now, futurologist? I should have been calling myself that decades ago. I didn't know there was such a thing. I didn't know you could just self-apply that title either, a futurologist. Leading futurologist predicts droid population to grow from 57 million to 9.4 billion in 30 years. Well, wow. What's shocking about that is not this 57 million to 9.4 billion droids in 30 years, is just getting to the 57 million from the point where we are now. And talking about this happening in less than 50-year time period. See, I got laughed at 10, 12 years ago because I didn't just go by what everybody was saying in the mainstream on transhumanist stuff. I mean, I dug deep, man. Got into their actual publications and stuff. And because a lot of people said, oh, the singularity won't be for 2050 or some shit. And I was saying, no, it's coming faster than that. We're talking like 2025. And I got laughed at by a lot of people. Well, how come all the top experts say way after that? And I said, because they're not they're just judging by what they're adding up on paper. Okay? They're not looking at the real world actual usage of this stuff. And they're not looking at how processing power and quantum computing and all this stuff, how quickly and fast it's multiplying. People just think that computing power and processing power only has an evolution. It only, jumps up in its power every time they get, a new iMac or something. You know what I mean? Or every time they get a new gaming computer. Ooh, I can put, 100 gigs of RAM in this box now. Which is just insane, right? But it's jack shit compared to what is really out there that most people don't know. People think that if they buy the top of the line, processor and motherboard and fucking video card and all that shit to build their fucking gaming box, and they spend all the money that, they spend $5,000 and buy the top of the top stuff, that whatever they have is the tip top of all computing power in the world. And it's ridiculous, man. But there are fucking tons of people out there that believe that. Because what we're allowed to have, what we're allowed to see are toys compared to the stuff they have behind closed doors. The vision of robots taking over the world might sound like something out of a dystopian science fiction novel, but robots will outnumber humans by 2048. An expert has predicted, according to leading futurologist Dr. Ian Pearson, Earth's robot population will grow from around 57 million to 9.4 billion over the next 30 years. Dr. Pearson, a British novelist, engineer, and inventor, said robots can also become emotionally intelligent by 2028. He said his predictions are based on the modest assumption that the number of robots will grow by a fifth each year. If the take-up is quicker, robots could overtake humans by as early as 2033. See how they keep pushing it up? I mean, I was getting laughed at about talking about the singularity and all this stuff happening in 2025. Everybody else was saying back then, 10, 11 years ago, they were saying 2050, 2060, 2070, and that time frame. Now, again, it's getting pushed up and pushed up because things are, the multiplying rate of technology happens quicker than most everybody's even aware of. The new iPhone came out. People think they go out and get the new iPhone or whatever, the new Android. That's the tip of the spear of technology. It's jack shit. That's really what it is. Separate studies have predicted huge numbers of workers will be replaced by robots, with manufacturing, finance, accountancy, and transport among those hardest hit. Only last week, Bank of England Governor Mike Carney warned the automation of millions of jobs could lead to mass unemployment, rising inequality, wage stagnation, and the resurgence of Marxism with a generation. Yeah, you think? And all those things are just going to happen by accident, huh? Why do you listen? If they didn't want this to happen, it wouldn't happen. All this scaremongering and all this shit that they're doing to try and give the appearance that, well, we tried to warn you. People want this stuff. No, they want this. Is exactly what they want to happen. They put out these bullshit news stories and have these bullshit agendas and these talking points where, they try to convince people that no matter what happens with robots and all the rest of this stuff, whatever the end result is, it's not our fault. This is what they want to happen, because this is the way they're going to gain further control and creating a homogenized society across the world. Dr. Peterson said today the global robot population is around 57 million. Where the fuck are all these robots? Are they in China? Are they fucking China bots? Are they in there making fucking cars? Remember in the 80s when in all those movies, they always had robots that were always making people drinks and shit, and they tried to act like that shit was here already? Come on. Lethal Weapon or something like that. They had a robot in it. There's a bunch of those 80s movies. Made it look like they could go and get you a beer out of the fridge and open for you. Come on. But then again, maybe that stuff was already here then, and maybe it wasn't very far off. But, I mean, there is a lot of evidence to support that we've been kept, just like everything, in a state of arrested development as far as what we're allowed to know. Technology is really no different either. That will grow quickly in the foreseeable future, and by 2048, robots will overtake humans. If we allow for likely market acceleration, that could happen as early as 2033. By 2028, some of these robots will already be starting to feel genuine emotions and respond to us emotionally. The idea of robots taking over the world makes many of us nervous. According to a poll of 2,000 adults, 7 in 10 fear the rise of artificially intelligent robots. Well, goddamn. We've had it pumped down our throats all these years with Hollywood movies and the rest of that. That's a part of the psychological operation. Technology is so many decades ahead. They've been slowly releasing this stuff out to us for years and years and years and doing a slow rollout. Because if they rolled out all the stuff they've got and had for so many years overnight, you couldn't get people to become enamored with these new revelations and these new releases, new technologies, because the overwhelming fucking question would be, how do we get from A to B, with nothing in between? How do we get there? How do we get from fucking basically sticks and twigs to the height of technology? Well, of course, back-engineered extraterrestrial technology and the rest of that stuff, they've been slowly rolling out. And they allow the military and different people like that to have these advanced technologies, sometimes decades before. There's been rumors for years about the CIA having these touchscreen communicators similar to iPhones all the way back in the 1970s. But if they would have just overnight, really, if you want to see a great example of that, is look at the time period between the end of World War II and the development of the SR-71 Blackbird. I mean, you're not talking about very long. But then think about the time period like I discussed in Spellcasters 1947. Look at everything that happened there, and look at that jump. I mean, we went from these P-57 Mustangs, Spitfire, prop fucking planes to the height of advanced technology, flying faster and higher altitudes with technology that literally came out of nowhere within the span of, maybe 10, 11 years after World War II. It's insane. A U-2 spy plane was the first to that. That's why they still, even though those planes have been technically decommissioned, they still bring them out from time to time, and they've stated on the record many times that the U-2 spy plane specifically has technology in it that we don't have today. I've heard that said many times about the U-2 spy plane. The technology we don't have today is in that. It was like they built this stuff once or whatever. What do they used to build? They couldn't do it again. So the real question is why has there been for years all of this fear-mongering and all this scaremongering going on for the, robot apocalypse stuff? They've been pumping us with it for years. They sure as hell haven't been doing it as a public service. Give me a break. So why is it that they've been filling us with fear with this? I mean, there's got to be something. The only thing I can think of is that they're scared that this is going to overthrow their reign. That's the only thing I can think of. I guess they think that if people get scared enough about something, that they'll ask, as they always do, they'll run to mommy and daddy government and ask mommy and daddy government to please protect us, please, mommy and daddy, like after 9/11. Please, mommy and daddy government, save us. We'll do anything you want. We'll sign off on anything that you do. Just save us from these evil terrorists. Okay, you got it. Boom. Let's go attack countries that didn't have fucking anything to do with this. That's my main conclusion. I think when I think about this stuff is why they've been scaremongering us with it for so long. Why is there all these continued talking points and stuff about this? Why they seem to be so worried about it? I think it's because they know that their power structure, their supremacy is in danger by this. I think they're afraid of themselves becoming the enslaved instead of being the enslavers, and they don't like the idea of that. So you can bet that they'll after an extended campaign, which has already been going on for decades, after an extended campaign of propaganda and scaremongering to the general public on robots and the rest of this, once this stuff finally gets here, you can bet there'll be, some UN panel or intergovernmental panel or some fucking task force. They'll come up with a new alphabet agency like the NSA, CIA, FBI, or whatever. There'll be a new, it'll be, maybe they'll call it the RCA, throw back to the old RCA, Victrola, and old school technology. Yeah, the robot control agency, will be the new NSA, CIA thing. Well, that's what they'll do. Well, we have to have this group and whatever else to be in charge of this stuff. And then, of course, they'll make sure that stuff stays in their best interest. I'm sure it'll be something like that.